So let's start creating the views for our song controller, and before we do, we need a folder for the song. So in the views, I'll right click, add new folder, and the folder has to be the same name as the controller, so that's the song. And in it we will have two views, one for edit and one for delete. Remember, add, the new record, uses the edit view. So let's right click song and add a view, and let's start with the delete view because that one's easier. So this one's gonna be delete.cshtml. So I'm gonna delete everything from the view, and first thing we need is the model. So we'll pass in the model of song. It's a single song that we are deleting, so not a list like we did for the index. Let's create the title. So in our view bag, we will specify the title to be delete record or delete song. And now let's do the HTML. So when the page loads, we will simply display properties of the song that we want to delete, and we can have a header that simply asks if the user wants to delete the record. So let's do the h2 statement, for example, and use text confirm deletion. And then we can have another header, and here we will show what song the user is going to be deleting. So we'll go to a model and display the name, and then we can also display the year of the song. So these are like the identifying properties for the song, so the user has an idea what song is going to be deleted. And now we need a form for our post action, so when the form executes or when the button on the form is clicked, the deletion is performed. So let's create a form, and let's do the tags for the ASP action, and the action is for the delete. So we are deleting a record, and method is of course post. Now we have the name and a year, but there could be actually multiple songs with the same name and year. What we also need is the ID of the record, because that is a unique identifier. We don't want to show it to the user because the user doesn't need to know what ID of the song is, but we need it in our form so we know what record to delete. So we'll use an input. However, we'll specify this as a hidden input, so the user will not see it. And this is gonna be an input for the ID, so it's gonna be ASP4, and this is gonna be bound to the song ID. So now we have the ID of the song we want to delete, and we can perform the deletion using the action. So we need the button for that, so let's get the button in our form. The type of the button is gonna be submit, and let's style it a little, so it's gonna be class. Since this is a button, the class will gonna be btn, and let's make this a primary button, and the text on the button can be delete. And typically you also have a cancel button because the user may change their mind. Let's also add a button for the cancel. I'm going to use it as an anchor tag because when this is clicked, we want to go away from the delete page or delete view and go back to the home view, for example. So we'll go to ASP controller to be home, and ASP action to be the index action. So when the user cancels this operation, we'll redirect to the index action on the home controller. Let's style it a little, so the class can be btn to make this a button, and this one can be another primary button, so they're gonna be of the same importance, btn-primary. So both these buttons are gonna be blue, and the text on this one can be cancel. So let's actually test this. I'm going to run this, and I'm going to click any of these songs, delete, and you can see here is our page, confirm deletion, and we are deleting Master of Puppets of the version of 1980. That's the year this was released. Now I don't want to delete it yet, but if I clicked it, it would delete the song, and if I cancel, I go back to my home page. So we will test the deletion, addition, and adding new song at the end after we are done with all the views. So next view we're gonna create are the views for editing and adding records.